Alrighty, so a couple of days ago I teased you on my 100 ram drill video that we were going to do something with this. Now I filled it up a little bit to a point where I think I've got enough gold, and so the idea now is to basically filter it through my system and turn it into just one big bar of gold. So what I did was I created this thing a little while ago. Now I was going to fill it up with little particles, but then the game was getting all laggy and horrible and really doesn't like small particles and lots of them. So I built this massive silo and we built two slants. So we've got one this side and we've got one the other side that basically makes this funny sort of like shape. And I'm going to so this is one side of it, and then the other side of it, if you look up here, it goes, so we've got one slide that goes down there and one slide that comes down the other side, and then all these slide into the funnels and then slide into the cauldrons. Okay, so that's what we're aiming for. Now the reason why I put the conveyor belts in here is so that when I get things moving, then the gold might just start shifting itself. That's my hope, at least. Now the worst comes to worst is it doesn't work and I have to get inside the pit and then close it up behind me and then sort of just shuffle it through with the wand. Either way, it's going to be fun. I'm probably going to lag the crap out of this game, but hey, all the joys of overdoing anything in this game. So I'm going to get into this now. I will be recording my whole trip into this and basically hoping that it doesn't go as badly as I'm thinking. If it doesn't flow when I move the flooring away, I'm going to put the roof on and I'm going to sift around in it like Scrooge McDuck and hopefully get it moving. So yay me. Okay, so I need to go. I'm going to leave my magnet up here. Actually, I better take one with me. Worst comes to worst, I come back and get the other one and we start pushing it down. So yeah, here we go. So I've been at this for nearly half an hour. And as you can see, I've made a little bit of a dent. But yeah, who knew? Who knew this was going to take so long? Oh no. If I can just get down onto the slope, then I can drag gold down and I can be happy. Here we go. Yeah, now we're cooking. I just don't want to cook myself. So if I can just drag out a load of the stuff from up here, then I can unstuck myself and get some flow into there, and then we're all good. So it's going to be a little bit laggy for me for a little bit. We're getting there, slowly but surely. We've now made a big enough hole we can actually do a bit of free falling, which is good. We just have to keep sorting it out. It's just, there isn't really a way of doing like a mass sort out like this at all. I mean, so this is literally just an experiment to see if it was possible to turn Scrooge McDuck's like swimming pool into something like doing. There you go, this is better. Alright, we just gotta take our time, shift what we can over and keep it moving, I think. So we do have to do a lot of messing around with this. This is something I really wouldn't advise people to do. I really wouldn't. This is ridiculous. The amount of times I've had to push unstuck now is getting a bit ridiculous. It's like Groundhog Day. Ba-dum, and I'm back, and I'm running back to the same place I was 5 seconds ago when it... Yeah, it's like that. This is genuinely the biggest job that I've undertaken, apart from running 100 round drills. This is ridiculous. Day 3, and we're still going. So it's taken us nearly an hour to get all this moving. It is ridiculous. Okay, so we are slowly getting somewhere. Slowly but surely, yes. So we're just trying to move off all this side down there first, and then we've just got this bit to go. But all this was filled with gold. We are slowly but surely, slowly making sure that it is all moving. Just needed to get down into the crucibles. That's all it is. Just trying to move it all. So I was hoping that maybe that these would have been steep enough to make things move on their own, but apparently that doesn't work like this. So it's almost best if you're going to do this sort of thing, only fill it up to like one wall high and then go from there, because if you fill it up this much, Then there's like loads and loads. It just doesn't move. It really doesn't. And it doesn't roll. It doesn't do anything. It just sits there. Like this. Look. Gravity should be pushing all that down by now, but it's just not moving. So you have to rely on yourself to push everything down. You have to rely on it all to just be like shoved around for you, basically. Which is a bit of a shame. But, you know, as a system, it's not that bad of an idea. It just doesn't work properly. See, that's what it should be doing. Ready? It should just be rolling down. And then not stopping. But this is a big room full of gold. So, well, it was full of gold. You got to think it was all the way up to that line, pretty much. I really, really want to know how much all this is worth. Was it worth my time? At this precise moment in time, I really hope so, but it's just so much work. Okay, what day are we up to? 4 now? Day 4. That's all we got left. And it's not causing any, but this is what I wanted. I wanted this sort of system where it would move slowly and it would dunk it all in on its own and I didn't have a problem, but it's too much to ask for, really, isn't it? It just feels so strange not seeing this full of gold, man. Alright, so we've officially emptied my entire silo. Now let's go, I'll just go and show you. This used to be full of gold, if you remember the beginning of this video. This was a pit. So, to put that into perspective, that's how deep this pit is. All the way down to the conveyor belt, man, and that's like, what, 5 floors? 5 floors of just pain. Is all I have to say. I mean, that was just agony. So I probably won't be doing this again, right? But on the joys of experimentation, we now get to see how much all this was actually worth in the first place. Okay, so each bar, this one is worth 94,911. We'll do these in twos. So those 2 bars are 180 grand. So that'll be my first Mr. T necklace. So we'll whack those in there now. I'll choose a gem from the bucket of doom because I have got a lot of gems. We'll whack that on there. So first one, this is 180 grand's worth of material. So that should push that to 200,000. Happy. So we'll leave that on the table for now. Next 2 bars. We've got one that's worth... So this must have been one of the outsider ones that wasn't really getting used, because this is 59 grand, which isn't a lot if you think about it. And then that pushes it up to 184. So that 1 bar there is worth 130,000, roughly. Not bad. Not too bad at all. So this is Mr. T necklace number 2. And this time we'll use a sapphire. Okay, so we've got 1 emerald. Oh, and we've just missed the anvil. So we've got 1 emerald, 1 sapphire. That's worth 122,298. And this one is on top of it is worth $230,000. Together these are £11,000 worth of gold. Oh, that's going to be the big one. So the ruby is going to be worth the most, and then the other 2 are roughly about the same. Okay, so we'll do the ruby necklace last. What we'll do is we'll go and get these sold at the shop. So boom. So we made it to town. Now is the day. So what we did with this was we basically emptied an entire silo's worth of gold. So we're going to do the ruby one last, because that one's going to be worth the most. We're going to do the sapphire first. The sapphire one is worth 257,850, which is bloody good. And so that's 257,000. The emerald is worth 252. So I said they were about the same. So that's 500,000 in those 2 alone. and then we've got the ruby one, which is worth 322,000. So that's 833,061. Booyah. My thoughts on this whole experiment of Scrooge McDuck's pit. So the reason why I built this was to fill it out with gold and go, look at me, I've built a pit of gold. And that's pretty much all I did it for, really. But the experiment is how much this was all worth. How long would it take to fill and how long it took to unload? That was the big problem. So to put this into perspective, if I run 100 ram drills for an hour, I think with the calculations that I put out, I think it was 1.2 million if I ran everything and then made a profit from it for an hour. Okay. With this, that was 833,000 just in gold. So, yes, I would have made more money if I'd have had swords and axes and all the other stuff that you can make, and the jewelry and everything else. So, yeah, I would have probably made in a region of 1 point something million. Now, the only reason why I have a Goliath build to start with is mainly for the gems and for the crystals, because the crystals obviously are bigger with the Goliath drills, and so are the gems, which is what I use in the jewelry I make. The main point of this video was it worth my time to fill that up with gold? It was a laugh at the end of the day. It was an experiment at the end of the day, and it looked pretty cool as well. It took too much time though. Building a silo this big and then emptying it took longer than running that for an hour and earning more money off that than it did emptying this. So I think for me, as a ram drill builder, no, this wasn't worth my time. As somebody who would be a Goliath builder, this was worth the time. If you're a Goliath builder and you're filling up a silo full of this with like 50 or 60 Goliaths, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see something like this. So that I could understand if you're doing it with a lot of Goliaths, but the amount of time I've spent doing this, it wasn't worth my time. But like I said, the only reason why I use a Goliath build is for gems and crystals, and that's pretty much it. So I'm not really sure of the purpose of the video. It was just entertaining, wasn't it? Well, if you made it this far, it's entertaining. So as I sit here and contemplate another idea for Hydroneer, or maybe a tutorial for beginners, I'm going to sit here and watch the sun go down. I'm going to contemplate the rest of my time on here, and I'll see you all later. I want to say peace out, have fun, enjoy everything you guys do. And if you're playing Hydroneer, drop in a comment. Let me know what you're up to. Or come and join the Discord and share your experiences with the rest of us. Until then, bye-bye guys. Have a brilliant time.